Did you know the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal wasn't the first Harry Potter theme park attraction? Nope, the first was actually at Warner Bros. Movie World on the Gold Coast in Australia. During Pottermania in the early 2000s, Movie World opened the world's first Harry Potter attraction to tie in with the release of the Philosopher's Stone film. This was called the Harry Potter Movie Magic Experience. This was a walkthrough attraction, where guests took a guided tour through various scenes inspired by the film. I remember it well, as my family frequently visited Movie World around this time, and we all loved it. It ran for over a year, before being updated to the Chamber of Secrets the next year, but sadly it ended there. In this video, I'll talk about both of the Harry Potter attractions at Movie World, what they had, why they were special, and why they don't deserve to be forgotten by either Harry Potter or theme park fans. Imagery and videos of Harry Potter at Movie World are very, very rare, but there's still enough to show and talk about, especially since I recently digitized a bunch of my family's photos from the attraction, showcasing some imagery that was previously pretty much lost media. Let's go through it bit by bit. Located near the back of the park, and replacing the young Einstein Homestead attraction, it had a really cool looking facade, including the Hogwarts Express. This looked fantastic, and was actually a real C-17 steam locomotive that was done up for the attraction. Fun fact, the train is still around today, and can be found at the Archer Park Museum up in Rockhampton. Anyway, you'd go through a tunnel up to the main queue, which was loosely themed to a train station, and gave a great close-up view of the Hogwarts Express. I remember televisions being here that played clips from the movie. Guests would go inside the attraction in small groups, and would meet their tour guide, who guided them through the attraction. These staff members were dressed in wizarding attire, and spoke in English accents, but being Australian, some of these accents were better than others. The first scene was the back of the Leaky Cauldron with a large brick wall. The tour guide would magically open the wall, and, just like in the movie, it revealed Diagon Alley. Now this naturally pales in comparison to the version that would open much later at Universal Orlando, but for what it was surprisingly good. I remember it looking very large and open as a kid. I don't think any of the props or sets were actually from the movie, but either way, they looked really authentic and accurate. There was a large matte-style painting in the background, and while you couldn't go into the stores, you could look through their windows, and each was fantastically themed, with a lot of props and hidden details. I remember being impressed with the theming at the time, and even now, looking back, I'm surprised at the amount of detail that was put in here. There was Ollivanders, Gringotts, and even shops like Elop's Owl Emporium, and quality Quidditch supplies. In that one, they even had the mannequins that you could briefly see in the movie. What awesome attention to detail, it was crazy. I believe they sometimes also brought out real owls here to show to guests right in front of Gringotts. I don't remember this personally, but I remember reading about it. Either way, it didn't happen on every tour. I visited Hogsmeade in Universal Japan recently, and honestly, a lot of the theming used in the Movie World version is comparable. Some of it may even be better. After Diagon Alley, we turn left and walk past some more scenes from the film. I don't remember the exact order, but scenes included Hagrid's hut, the Gryffindor common room, and Privet Drive, which included the iconic cupboard under the stairs. Hey, pausing super quickly, are you enjoying the video so far? If so, please give it a like. It really helps the video out with the almighty YouTube algorithm. Thanks so much. Alright, back to the video. Each scene here was also very detailed. Just look at Harry's cupboard, there's so much detail in here. It even had the toy soldiers you could see in the film. I love this scene here with all the letters strewn around, and you could even see Norbert the Dragon's egg in Hagrid's cabin. Speaking of Hagrid, there he is. Yep, there were some 2D cutouts of characters in the sets, which included Harry and friends. Other props included some of the wizard chess pieces, like the king here. Again, I don't believe any of these props were actually from the movie, but they really resembled the movie counterparts well. That was the end of the Philosopher's Stone version of the attraction. The attraction closed the next year for a small retheme into the next movie, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So, what changed? Well, the entrance mostly remained the same, but the Weasleys' flying car appeared on the roof behind the Hogwarts Express, which looked awesome. Dobby also appeared on the main entrance sign. This version of the attraction had a different beginning. starting out in the spooky Nocturne Alley, where you entered Borgin and Burke's. While not as detailed as the sets in the previous attraction, this was still pretty good, with lots of props and a spooky ambiance. After Nocturne Alley, guests returned to Diagon Alley, which had mostly been untouched. I'm not sure about the other scenes, but Hagrid's hut definitely remained. As you can see in this footage, guests moved on to the final scene of the experience, the spooky Forbidden Forest. I remember this being a relatively large space, and it felt faithful to the films. Then, arachnophobes beware, Aragog the spider comes out. This was a pretty big animatronic. I loved spiders as a kid, so I was fine with him personally, but I'm sure he scared the pants off many visitors. Aragog called his family to eat you, and a bunch of spooky spiders came down from the ceiling. This was quite scary, and I remember a lot of guests screaming at this moment. It was pretty eerie. Then, the Weasley's car comes to the rescue, just like in the movie. This was another cool, well-themed, practical moment, with lots of movement and smoke effects. You'd then be hurried out of the attraction before the spiders could regroup. Both versions of the attraction were fantastic. A really fun and immersive experience in the Wizarding World. The sets were very detailed and well designed, and the tour guides added a lot to the charm. It didn't feel too rushed. You could stop and take pictures and enjoy the scenery if you wanted. I remember being excited for a potential re-theme to Prisoner of Azkaban and beyond, but sadly, for one reason or another, it ended there. The experience closed in 2003 to make way for a Matrix exhibit, which, in my opinion, paled in comparison. It was basically just a glorified museum and not an immersive theme park style attraction. The show building today has been split in half. Half of it is now a first aid centre, and the other half is used for scare mazes during Fright Nights. I missed the attraction so much. It made a huge impression on me as a kid, and it set up a lot of expectations for what Movie World can do when they put in the time and money. I always think of Harry Potter when I walk past the site today, remembering all of those awesome memories. We still call the toilet block right next door the Harry Potter toilet in my family, because that's what we remember it being back in the day. While the attraction is gone, some remnants can still be found at Movie World, believe it or not. Props from Harry Potter can be seen in the Casablanca courtyard here, and there's also some in this Harry Potter themed store window, like these Quidditch shields or coat of arms. They're starting to fade, but even now, you can still see the detail that was put into them. Props can also be found in the Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster, with many living in the exit gift shop, including some of Aragog's spider family. Speaking of Aragog, the big old spider himself can be found inside the ride, sitting in the main disco coaster room.
Spider! Big spider! Whee!
He's hard to spot due to him not being lit up, so he's more of an Easter egg. During Fright Nights 2024, Aragog was brought out of Scooby-Doo due to the refurbishment on the coaster, and was put on display on Main Street as a cool photo op. It was awesome getting to see him again, especially up close. I hope he makes his way to Scooby-Doo for its 2025 reopening. Movie World also had a Harry Potter themed shop on Main Street, which stayed open for many years after the main attraction closed. It was a small and cramped store, selling various Harry Potter merchandise. I remember buying a lot of booster packs there from the Harry Potter trading card game. Anyone remember that? The store is now a Batman shop today, but it still keeps the same basic layout. The Harry Potter merch is still available at the park, but it's in one of the, generic movie shops now rather than its own shop. It's not all bad for Harry Potter fans, though. There are some fantastic themed areas for Harry Potter around the world, such as the Wizarding Worlds at the Universal Parks, and the behind-the-scenes experience in the UK, which actually does have real props and sets from the movies. That feels like a successor of sorts to Movie World's version, and I'd love to visit it someday. Here in Australia, we sometimes get exhibits and experiences, such as the awesome Forbidden Forest nighttime walks, so there's still stuff to do here if you enjoy Harry Potter. I had fun going through these memories, and I hope this video brings the attraction to the attention of more Harry Potter and theme park fans. I've never seen it get talked about in either community, and I really hope this video changes that. Did it for you? Leave a comment down below. I love reading them, and I try to respond to them all. Also, please give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing for more fun theme park videos. I do a bunch of content, some with my voice and some without, and I'd love to have you here. And finally, a huge thank you to my YouTube members, the Ogre Bros and the Ogre Sisters, for your kind support. As a reward for you all getting this far into the video, I'm gonna say thank you in my best Dumbledore impression, but this Dumbledore is from the 4th movie.
Harry! I protest!
Harry, you put your name in a goblet of fire.
Closer!
Yep, here we go. A big thank you to Straws, SW Stevie 1, Artie Husky, Matt Jonas, Anti-Furry, TV, Rice is a Bomb, Dristan, Randall, Moves Like Everyone Celebrating Total Small 30th, I Liam's Law, Jack W, Kerry Jekyll, Koala 75, Mr. Yum Yum, Jez FS, Audrey Allen, Johnny Boy 175, Craig Head, and Germ. Did you put your name into the goblet of fire, you Ogre Bros and Ogre Sisters? Theme Park Ogre asked calmly. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and thank you. Thank you for watching. Please consider watching another of my videos. I'll see you there. Have a great rest of your day. Ogre and out.